Alright, well, I feel like a fucking retard because I do the recordings typically on a Friday, and I didn't get to it this Friday because I was busy, so I did it on Saturday, and I watched it on Sunday before I go back to work, and I watched it, and I didn't have fucking volume. So all I'm doing is moving around all these charts, and all I just see my mouth going wah, 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 with no sound. So I'm also trying to teach my wife about stock trading, so that when I do stupid shit, she can call me out. So my first trade was on MGIH today. It uh, it popped up. I was looking for a play around here. I had a level that I was watching at 293. It popped over $3, slammed below. I'm trying to short on the ask, but I slammed the bid. I got filled, and I covered down at my final target. It was really a simple play, and it worked out perfectly. The second day, I was looking for pretty much the same thing. I was looking in this level. Um, I saw it popping up, and it was stuffing out, and I missed this. It happened too quick, and so I didn't want to short down here, luckily, and so I waited for it to pop back up. It had a fake breakout of this level. It shorted. I'm not entirely sure. I think this is the stock that I wasn't sure if this candle actually happened, because on Trade Zero, DOS, and Thinkorswim, there's been some discrepancies between the charts, and so there's also like a very the spread on this stock was big, which means that where you buy and where you sell is different. Typically, when you're trading, you want to have like the bid at say $3.11, and the ask is gonna be at $3.12. This one was at like 310 is the bid where the buyers are, and 317 or 18 is the ask where the sellers are, and that's not good, which allows for a lot more manipulation. Uh, but I I did a good job on this, and I took the trade, but I was looking for more of a fade because it was a day two. And so I am typically covering here, but I wanted more of a longer hold. I was looking for like best case scenario. I was looking for like $2. Uh, but it's at the end of the day, and I was like, dude, I'm not messing with this shit. Like once it fells down, I set my stop to break even, and I set a range order is how I'm trading now. And so I mean I wasn't watching it really at all. Like I would check in like every hour and a half. But this thing's traded with no volume whatsoever. The chart honestly looks like complete shit, and so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna either win big or I don't lose anything. So I don't set it break even. I set it like 2 cents in the money. That way, especially on a stock that's crazy like this, that way I can like kind of account for slippage. It worked good, but then I talked to my mentor, and he said not to touch it on day three because I was watching it in after hours, and it started popping back up. And I told him, I was like, hey man, this thing might be going for another day. And I was like, should I be watching this for like an overextended play? And he said that he would recommend me staying away from this thing, which is probably good in hindsight because this thing popped over both days high and just went fucking crazy. Um, it had a huge fell, which it would have hit the target that I was looking for the previous day, but it's too risky, and this went crazy. This would have been such a beautiful trade, though. Like really, because with this stuffed candle right here, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I want to see. I mean, that's a. I don't know. I guess that isn't a lot of range. That's only like 15 cent, a 15 cent stuff, but still, if you got in around here, I bet if I put everything on the way I'm trading, like that's about the area I'd be looking for. So really, take a trade around, like not top ticket. Let's say 355. I I'd be risking 23 cents. So let's just say 25 cents. But I need at least 3 hours, so I need 75 cents. So I need this to drop under. So what was that? That's two thirties. So I would have been able to get the trade that I needed, but I don't know. I just left it alone. But anyways, so then I had a problem because I promised my wife that I would not break the rules, and I was tired of shit on Friday, and I forgot that that was one of the rules that you don't trade when you're tired because I don't make good decisions, and I had a really shitty day on Friday, so I traded RGTI. Um, First off, like it wasn't even on my radar at all. Um, it just started ripping up, but this thing topped out at just above the half-dollar mark, and so I was like, all right, and it started popping back up, and so I wanted to get in right around here, but I got FOMO. I didn't trade correctly, and this should have been my indication not to trade at all because the first trade I took half size. I was risking, I believe I was risking 250s. So I was like, all right, if this breaks over 250, it's not correct. Well, when I noticed that I was only in half size and it was at like 249, I was like, oh, dude, I I'm only in half size. I promised my wife that I'd trade 3 times in a day. I was like, well, one rule that I haven't told her about yet that I've had pretty much forever is you don't add to a loser. And so I'm already losing this trade. So I can't add another half size because in my brain that's stupid. You don't do that. Like a beginner does that. It's dumb. So I cut my trade off and I didn't count that as a trade because I was only in half size. I basically counted it as a fuck up. So this thing popped just above 250 and then slammed down, and well, I tried to do it again. Well, I fucked up and I bought the share instead of shorting it, and I panicked and I sold. So there's 2 trades, and I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing, Adam? And so I took a short, and I was like, all right, I want to take a short full size. I want to be risking high of day. I took a short, and it ripped up. And actually, I think I was actually risking the daily or this level that I drew in. I cut it off. I was like, dude, what the hell? And then it stuffed, and I missed it, and then I shorted weakness, which is a very old bad habit of mine, and I was risking over the high of day because the stuff candle, if it's working, it shouldn't go over that. Well, it did, and I covered, and I was just like, holy shit. So I have a half size fuck up. I bought it. There's another fuck up. Then I have 2 losses on it. I'm like, all right, dude. That's depending on your perspective. That could be 4 trades. I promised my wife that I would not do more than 3 trades. But in my mind, I was like, dude, you're down X amount of money. 2 of them are fuck ups. Like, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks or what they say. It matters what you think, what you say. So, like, were those trades for you? And I was like, no, they weren't trades. I need to take one more trade. And so when this thing stuffed again, I was like, all right, this is either going to work or it's going to turn into a grinder. But this time, when I took the trade down here, like I had my risk, but once it started working, I instantly just moved my stop to break even. I was like, all right, if this works, cool. If it doesn't, you lost whatever money. Well, it came down and it hit my target. Then my greed kicked in, and that's when I was like, all right, well, you're down X amount of money. It worked, but this thing could go down even farther. And I recognized this thought process in my head a few times. When I get greedy like this, normally this is me going on tilt. Because what will happen is I'll get greedy and then this thing will just loop up and it'll bounce from here and shoot back up and stop me out and I'll lose all my damn money. And I was like, all right, man, like you're gonna lose money on the day, but this one trade, I fucked up one, two, three, four times, and in one trade, I got almost all of it back. And for me, that's a huge win because for me, it's like, all right, I'm finally starting to fine tune my risk, my my rules, because that's another thing. I feel like I've been following, some great traders, and I've been learning from a lot of people. But to actually trade stocks, you need to figure out your rules, what makes sense in your mind. And so I was like, all right, man, like just cover, and you got most of your loss back. I have a very, very small red day, and really, I'll end the week doing pretty damn good. I did good on the first two trades. One thing I forgot to add actually was I fucked up on this one. It actually I did short on the ask on this, and it for some that's what it was. That's why I know this didn't freaking happen. Like this didn't happen at least on trade zero. This happened on Thinkorswim, but I was on the ask, and I don't think I hit the stuff candle. I hit on the green candle, but I only got filled half size. It didn't fill me the whole size. So like I faded it. I mean I did pretty good on it, but I was only in half size. So on this one, like I feel like that added to my greed because I could have had a monster day yesterday or on Thursday, and I missed out on it. And for me, it's all about your mindset and how things are working for you, and like little things that wouldn't affect other traders affect me. And so like I like it's learning about who you are and how you trade. So now I need to know that like when I'm tired, I need to not trade. I have 3 trades a day. Can't remember what else. What are the other rules?
The
3 trades a
two
day.
shirts. Yeah. The
No,
first is don't play when you are
oh
tired.
yeah, don't. And I have like a maximum day thing that
Yeah.
I'm allowed to lose.
Less.
So really, those are my only real things. I'm also not trying to mess with SSR, recent IPOs, like the common sense kind of shit that you learn like as you trade, like not trading the stupid shit because I mean that's just common sense. You're just asking to be a failure in trading if you're doing that kind of stuff, in my opinion. So, but I wanted to, have my beer, show my wife the review, and do it. So I felt really stupid that I did this, on Saturday or whatever, and I didn't have volume. So there you go. Did my review. Now I know what to do.